We have 3 buildings. All 3 buildings are surrounding an interior courtyard, actually kind of a triple courtyard, the carport, the main courtyard, and then the on-site garden will be terraces down the hill to the cistern. On both sides, we'll have a walkway in the middle and terrace gardens on both sides. We plan for this courtyard with the trellises and the green stuff in it and so on to be our primary, our premier living area. Should effectively double our square footage area. We'll do the same bull wire underpinning or skirting on the house to allow the vine vegetables to grow up, cucumbers, beans. If you look at the courtyard and the building surrounding it, that's not unlike the Mediterranean architecture in Italy, Greece, Spain, and some of the other warmer, humid climates. New Orleans at the French Quarter. Those courtyards in those residences it's something we don't do anymore. If you take the typical house that are 3 rooms wide with a couple hallways and small windows, small doors that don't line up, there's no potential for cross ventilation in those houses. And those houses also have big, large gabled roofs that produce 160-degree air temperature in the attic. Post cheap energy, they probably won't be functional. We're going to have to relearn how to live. The choices we have to make, we need a set of integrated solutions to take care of our basic needs, which are, as this project is called, food, water, shelter. And of course, I mentioned on-site gardens, rainwater harvesting, and shelter that functions without the grid. I've been in the criminal court system for 14 months. I think a lot of it's their fault. But it comes down to the fact I have not done anything wrong. And in my mind, I'm doing everything right. I had attorneys for the due process part because this assistant city attorney who ended up dying during the trial had told me, Lester, the city's gonna bulldoze this project down, haul it to the landfill, and then bill you for it. And so I hired attorneys to make sure they went through the due process before.
Cost you a lot of money?
About $100,000. They sent out the building official, the fire marshal, 2 building inspectors, and looked at this site for 2 hours. And finally, we walked over to this, the hole in the wall where we went to the acoustic chamber. This is basically a crawl space foundation underneath the tree planter that has some real interesting acoustic properties. And the building official said, Lester, what is this? And I said, well, Jim, that's a containment dome for a residential scale nuclear power plant. And then they took me to the state engineering board, tried to take my license away. So anyway, we have been fighting back and forth. And some of it, like I said, might be my fault, since sometimes I don't have a very good sense of humor, like the containment dome thing, and maybe, calling the building official an asswipe. The city spent $150,000 of taxpayers' funds on legal fees on trying to collect a $500 fine for the mayor trying to give me a little slap on the hand criminal citation, which they were in turn going to use to take my engineering license away. And that all ended up, I didn't lose my license, but I got a cease and desist order, and I could no longer say the word ass as a standalone word or in compound with another word in written communications to public officials. Commit a Class C misdemeanor or worse in connection with the practice of engineering, the state board could take your license for 3 years. And that's what the city attorney had in mind, since I had made it personal and turned him and his daughter into the FBI. Within 45 minutes, he sent me 2 emails. One for a normal, or a necessary but routine inspection to look at the site, and in big, bold type, another one saying, I'm not going to get a copy of the engineering plan or the foundation plan for the city hall because none exist. There was no engineering done.